Coming up, a story of a young man who was trapped in the closet. Only on Matters of the Heart with John Redmon. Stay tuned.
It's so easy to say I love you, but somehow your affection sends me on an international pilgrimage of love, a journey that allows me to love you in Swahili, French, je t'aime, Spanish, te amo, German, ich liebe dich, Italian, ti amo, Swedish, ja älskar dig, Russian, jag lublю тебя, Chinese, wu ani, Irish, takla ogamet, and oh yes, Greek, sekamo.
Here's your host, John Redmon.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Matters of the Heart. I am your host, John Redmon. Let's jump right into the show. From 2005 to 2012, American R&B songwriter R. Kelly created a rap opera, which consisted of 33 chapters. Now, the series tells a story of a one-night stand which sets off a chain of events, gradually revealing a greater web of lies, sex, and deceit. This rap opera, created by R. Kelly, was entitled Trapped in the Closet. And today, on this broadcast of Matters of the Heart, we are going to talk about a young man who was trapped in the closet. Thank you so much for tuning in to Matters of the Heart. I am your host, John Redmon. Now, not only am I a radio talk show host, but I'm also a national recording artist. I own my own record company called Reaching Records. And what I do is I write, produce, minister, sing, play the piano, and perform all over the country. Well, this one particular day, I was scheduled to sing at a block party, and right before I was about to walk out the door, I got several alarming text messages back to back saying, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself, and there's nothing you can do about it. Find out what happened when we come back right after this song. This is Love Yourself, right here on JBCM Radio.
I saw a man on the corner with tears in his eyes. It seemed like he had given up. He gave his last ride. I went to him to reassure everything would be alright. He shook his head and fell down as dead, but these words he left behind. How can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself? How can you hold somebody when you've never been held? How can you forgive somebody when you never got your second chance? How can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself?
I saw her at the altar with her hand in his hand, but instead of joy I saw fears, instead of smiles unresolved tears. I wondered why she was getting up during the holy prayer. She yelled, I can't, got up and went, broke for the exit doors.
A little later, I called her up to
the other end, the monotone cry. She said, how can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself?
Can't even love myself, no.
How can you hold somebody when you never been held?
Wanna be heard.
How can you forgive somebody when you never got a second chance?
Chance, please.
How can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself?
Can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself? How can you hold somebody when you've never been there? How can you forgive somebody when you never got your second chance?
How can you love somebody when you can't even love yourself? How can you hold somebody? How can you trust somebody? Believe somebody? How can you
forgive somebody?
How can you love somebody when you know what? Are y'all ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready to love me.
Ready to love me?
I'm ready to hold me. I'm ready to trust me. I'm ready to believe in me. But I must forgive me so I can love me.
You can't even love. You're still learning to love. Ooh, baby, you gotta love yourself.
Yes, that was Love Yourself featuring Jeff Morrison and John Truscelli from my junior project, Sagapo. So picking up where we left off before the music break, there was a young man who was rapid texting me on how he was about to commit suicide. He wanted to kill himself. That's what I kept reading in the text messages. And finally, he just picked up the phone and called me. And the only thing I heard on the other end was sobbing and tears. And I just hate my life. I want to kill myself. I can't believe this just happened. And I'm trying to make out the words and trying to get him to calm down and just try to do a little prying to see exactly what was going on and what has made him come to this conclusion that he wanted to end everything. So I finally got him to calm down. I was like, okay, stop. First, stop talking like that. You do not want to kill yourself. You have too much to live for. You have a very wonderful job and career and a family that loves you. Why are you talking like this? So when I finally got him to calm down, he started to talk and tell me what happened. He said, I was sleeping last night over my girlfriend's house. And he said, when I finally fell asleep, I forgot to lock my phone. And she reached over and grabbed it after I was sound asleep. And she opened it up. And she was looking for some text messages from other girls and found something else.
Why do I keep failing you? Why do I do the things I do? Oh, tell me why, oh why? Why do I keep messing up? Why do I keep giving this way that I've always felt, Lord. Tell me why, Lord, oh why? But you love me, Lord, and you never leave me alone, no. And you alone give me an unfailing love. I wanna be made whole, Lord. Make me in your image, Lord. Help me to live right. Help me to talk right. Help me to do right. Help me to live right. Oh Lord, I want a fresh touch from you, Lord. I'm asking why.
That was Why by Theresa Morton from the album John Redmon and Friends, Faith, Love, and Unity, Volume 1.1. So back to our true story. So the young man is telling me how he was sound asleep and his girlfriend was actually going through his phone while he was asleep, probably just looking for other text messages from other women just to see if she could really trust this guy or not. Anyway, while she was going through the text messages, she didn't see any text messages that actually alarmed her, but what she did find was some very foreign apps or applications on his phone that she'd never seen before. She was like, well, what's this? What is this? What is this? What is this application? What is this software? What is this? I've never seen this before. And then she started reading the description of it and decided to click on it. And when she clicked on it, she saw that it was a gay app. It was a gay application for men to meet up with men. She was infuriated. She shook him out of his sleep, started yelling and cussing at him, and said, "Get the hell out." She opened the door, threw his clothes outside, threw his phone outside, and said, "Just leave me alone."
Just leave me alone. Just reflecting on what you promised me, just reminiscing on what you said. You said you loved me, you never leave me. At all costs, you'd hold me dear. Now forgive me for remembering all the faded lives you've spent. I'm not hating you, I'm just mad at me because I believed in you. I gave you everything, gave up my wedding ring. I wouldn't change my life, even divorce my wife. I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my blue. I gave you everything, I gave you diamond rings. I wouldn't change my life, I know it wasn't right. I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my blue. I caught you with that attitude, all up in my bed. My face contorted, my heart exploded. Tonight somebody's dead, but I really with tear-filled eyes, I brought this on myself. I knew that karma happened all the time, but always to somebody else.
I give you everything, gave up my wedding ring. I wouldn't change my life, even divorce my wife. I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my boo. I gave you everything, I gave you diamond rings. I wouldn't change my life, I know it wasn't right. I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my boo.
Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Don't touch me. Just leave me alone. Don't ask me. Just leave me alone. Don't call me. Just leave me alone. Don't text me. Just leave me alone. Don't you say. Just leave me alone. I told you so. Just leave me alone. Don't you knock. Just leave me alone. At my door. Just leave me alone. Don't point. Just leave me alone. Don't point at me. Just leave me alone. I was wrong. Just leave me alone. I'm guilty. Just leave me alone. I'm hurting. Just leave me alone. I'm crying. Just leave me alone. Inside I'm dying. Just leave me alone. Now I'm paying. Just leave me alone. Going down. Just leave me alone. To the ground. Just leave me alone. I'm broken. Just leave me alone. I lost everything. Just leave me alone. I did this. Just leave me alone. To myself. Just leave me alone. That karma. Just leave me alone. Came back on me again. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Gave up my wedding ring. I wouldn't change my life, even divorce my wife.
Just leave me
I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my boo.
Just leave me
I gave you everything, I gave you diamond rings. I wouldn't change my life, I know it wasn't right.
Just leave me
I said I loved you true, you said you loved me too, and forever and always you would be my boo.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, thank you so much for staying with us. We are back. What you just heard was Just Leave Me Alone. That was a song that I wrote, and it appears on my Sagapo album. It was my junior album, my first real R&B album. And just want to throw a plug in here real quick. So all the music that you're hearing today on this radio broadcast is by independent artists. They all appeared on the Reaching Records label, my label. And please, this is what I beg of you all, support us as independent artists. We want to be able to continue to make music. And so don't just download the tracks for free. Buy the tracks. They are available on iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon.com, you name it, you can purchase it. Always go for the purchasing route, especially when it comes to independent artists. All right, back to our story. So the young man was shaken up out of his sleep. He's shaking, he's nervous, he's frustrated, he's confused. He was like, what happened? What did I do? What's going on? Why are you kicking me out? And so she gets his phone, picks it up and shows him his phone and this gay app that rests up on there. And he starts getting nervous. Oh yeah. And now it's time for the multitude of lies to begin. I don't know how that thing got on there, or I don't even know what that is, or I forgot to delete it, and she's just looking at him saying, whatever, get out. And all the lies, and he starts breaking down to cry. Oh, but, I don't, and she stops him. She was just get out. You should have told me you were gay, or you should have told me you were bi, but you didn't. You're creeping. You're on the DL. And now you got found out. So now I want you out of my house and out of my life and out of my kid's life. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And he's still trying to explain and beg. No, don't do it. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. She was like, oh, really? It is what I think. I think you gay. Oh, here we go. Luke 8:17 says, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Or, as so many people have said in the past, to break it down, what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. Now, before we go on and start judging this young man, I know this is a very serious situation, and I know it's not a laughing matter. Some of you have actually experienced this in your own homes and in your own families. And that's why we want to address these, because these are matters of the heart. These are matters that actually matters to you. And obviously it matters to us. We are not trying to go down the road of seeing more homes broken and devastated. We are trying to go down the path of healing and restoration. So I'm saying this, and we're bringing this program to you because we want truth to prevail. We want love to prevail, and we want healing and wholeness to prevail. And so I'm saying, before you go judging that young man, I would say go to your own closet, and I dare you to open the door. Because in 1 Timothy 5:24, it says this, the sins of some men are obvious, going ahead of them to judgment, but the sins of others do not surface until later. So what am I trying to say? What that pretty much says is we all have our skeletons, we all have our issues, and sometimes our sins are going to find us out before judgment or here in the present, and sometimes it's going to be revealed, or all our sins will be revealed when we're long gone, or when we actually see Jesus face to face. And so I'm not saying that the young man was right, because as the kids say, low key, meaning let me just let you know something. And this is something I already know. I knew he was a bisexual when he was hooking up with all these other girls. I already knew that. And I was like, have you told them? He was like, nah, I can't tell them. So everyone he was dating, I was always asking him, going back to him. I'm that kind of friend. Make sure you're being honest with the person. You know, they need to know, because at the end of the day, their health could be at risk. Their livelihood could be at risk. You know, and then you're not even counting yourself as trustworthy anymore. So just be honest. And if they decide to split, if they decide to part, or if they decide that that's too much to handle, then part ways. But don't let them come up and creep up and find out this information about you. And then it's an awkward position that both of you are in at that point, because now you all have feelings, or now you have children together. Now you have a home together. You know, this is that whole down low theory that's been going on, this whole down low issue that's been going on for years. Everybody's creeping. Everybody's creeping with either another man or another woman. It's not everybody. But this is just an issue. It's a sin issue. And everyone's just not satisfied with what they have. They're always looking for something more. Honesty is so underrated these days. I actually love to be honest and direct, because it's so fleeting. It's so hard to find these days. One of my friends actually called me and told me, he was just like, John, we talk like every other day. He said, John, you know what? Sometimes you're too honest. Just start lying to me, because I just will put out the truth, you know, and then because I used to be that person. I used to be like that young man who was hiding. I didn't want to be who I was. I was trying to fit myself into somebody else's box so they would love me, or they would like me, or tolerate me. I was that young man until I grew up. I can recall of hearing a sermon from Pastor Paula White. And in this sermon, she said something to the effect of, I will no longer be around people who simply just tolerate me. But now I choose to be around people who will celebrate me. I am so tired of trying to change my colors for you. Thank you, Whitney Houston. I will not change my colors for you. I will not change who I am for you. Because here's the truth of the matter. I love me. I love everything about me, everything that I am, and everything that I'm not. But all of that I am and all of that I'm not makes me who I am. And it makes me true to myself. And if you don't like me for who I am, then you don't deserve to be in my life. Now, here's the rough part about that statement I just made. I've said that statement several times, not just to friends, not just to enemies, not just to coworkers and buddies and people in the community, but I've said that very same line and meant it to my own family, my own blood. I am not changing my colors for you. I'm not going to be who you want me to be. I'm going to be the best me that I can be on my terms and God's terms. You want me to do this, or you want me to be like that, or you want me to walk like this, or you want me to speak like that, but that's not me. I am who God has called me to be and made me, and I do not apologize for it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Matters of the Heart. I am your host, John Redmon, and today's episode is Trapped in the Closet. A true story of a young man who was living a duplistic life and got caught. So continuing with this story, I stayed on the phone with the young man, but for some reason I still couldn't find a way to calm him down. He continued to weep and wail and moan, saying things to the effect of, "Why do I have to feel this way? I never asked to be a bisexual. I hate being a bisexual. Why do I have to be bi? It's not fair. I just want to kill myself." So I had to whisper a prayer. And I said, "Let me tell you something real quick. Just calm down. I have a story for you. I was where you are about 20 years ago. And there was a time in my life where I didn't want to live either. I, too, wanted to commit suicide. I, too, didn't want to be who I was. But thank God I lived. And thank God I lived, because if I didn't, I couldn't have this conversation with you right now. I was created the way I was for a purpose. You were created the way you are for a purpose. And the purpose is bigger than what you can see right now. So quit trying to be someone you are not. You can only be you, and I can only be me. Be the best you that you can be, and I can be the best me that I can be. The moment we try to become someone who we are not, we are living a lie and just existing. The Bible says that He has come to give us life and life that much more abundantly. Quit existing. Quit living a lie. It's time to live and live life not in the shadows, but to live in purpose.
Butterflies begin from having been another. As a child is born from being in a mother's womb. But how many times have you wished you were some other? Someone other than who you are. Yet who's to say that if all were uncovered, you would like what you see? You can only be you. As I can only be me. You know, there was a time in my life when I looked in the mirror and I hated what I saw, what I represented, what I felt, who I was, what I'd become. But then I realized flowers cannot bloom until it is their season, as we could not be here unless it was our destiny. But how many times have you wished to be in spaces, time, places than what you were? Yet who's to say with unfamiliar faces you could anymore be loving you that you see? You can only be you, as I can only be me. I can only be me.
You're listening to JBCM Radio. We'll be right back. Still to come, the conclusion of the story of the young man who was trapped in the closet.
Nestled in a small, warm and friendly office on the northeast corner of Dublin and Academy, you'll find Colorado Springs' best-kept secret, created excellence. With over 45 years in dentistry, Dr. William V. Holderbaum understands what a difference your healthy teeth and gums make. Not only is Dr. Bill exceptional in his craft, but he is committed, caring, cost-effective, compassionate, educational, and ethical, never recommending unnecessary dental work. Call Created Excellence today for their current promotions and let them show you, your family, and friends what a difference your healthy smile makes.
All right. Thank you all so much for staying around and tuning in to Matters of the Heart. I am your host, John Redmon, and we are talking and about to conclude the story of the young man who was found trapped in the closet. So the good news is the young man did not commit suicide. Thank you, Jesus. He actually called me about 3 days later after this incident, and I missed his call, and I hurried and called him back, and his actual girlfriend answered. Now this was a first for me, because every time I called this young man, he answered his own phone. And again, remember, he just called me like a couple of minutes prior. So when I called and she answered the phone, I was startled. And the conversation went something like this. Who's this? So I identified myself, but that wasn't good enough for her. She continued to interrogate me with a line of questioning. How did you all meet? How do you know him? Are you here in the city? Do y'all be doing things? So honestly, after I identified myself already, I felt that I already did what I needed to do in order to get to talk to my little buddy to make sure he was okay. And so the line of questioning and interrogation over the phone was not setting well with me at all. And I said, can you just pass the phone to him? I just want to make sure he's all right. I'm just checking on him. But you see what happened? Trust was broken in his relationship, and now they are on the path to try to rebuild what they had. But it's a very shaky foundation because the relationship was not built on truth. It was built on lies and deception. No relationship should be built on such things. But honestly, I couldn't blame her. Could you? She was lied to. She was deceived. And so, because trust was broken and her heart was broken, now is the time for mending. And more lies cannot mend a heart that was broken because of deception. Only speaking the truth and showing love, true love, can heal the wounded heart.
Oh, I know how hard it is to think that things must change. They do. Now everything in life's been rearranged, and it really doesn't matter. Those old changes make you sadder wherever you may go. Oh, I know there's some in life we feel just ought to stay. They won't. I lost someone I loved the other day, and it really was bereaving, yet her leaving had a meaning.
There are happenings that we don't understand. We won't, but it all fits into God's unchanging plan. And if you can take the sad time, you'll appreciate the glad time.
Wherever you may go, I know it's all.
No one ever said that it wouldn't change.
You know,
Nothing that man makes will stay the same.
and it's all.
Did you really think that it wouldn't change?
You know,
Nothing in this life will stay the same.
there's but one consolation, and it's God's dedication. Together we'll always be.
There's nothing more in this life I would rather have than the perfect love given of my Savior. His love divine has purified my heart and soul within. And if you know Him as I do,
We'll one day meet again. Did you know God's love remains the same? You know that His strength will carry you through the pain. I know it's all. Things in your life just won't stay the same. But you know we serve a God that will never change. There's but one consolation, and it's God's dedication. Together we'll always be.
now I know the joy I have with you will never change.
That was Oh I Know from Daniel Winans and the Second Half from the album John Redmon and Friends, Faith, Love, and Unity, Volume 1. So as we wrap up this show, let's get personal, listeners. Like the young man in the story, some of you also are trapped in the closet. You're hiding. You're afraid. You're living your lives to be liked and accepted by others instead of fulfilling your call, your purpose, your destiny. You're going through your daily motions to please your family and friends and coworkers and community. See, you're simply existing. But you were created to live and accept a higher calling for your life. There is a reason you were created just the way you were. You look just the way you do. You feel the way you do, why you were born where you were born, and lived through what you did. You deserve to live your life in the light, no more in the shadows. Now I can hear you saying, but what if people talk about me? My answer through experience is this: they are going to talk about you anyway. In fact, they're talking about you right now. So what? And then I can hear you asking, but what if they don't like me? My answer is, so what? You have to like you. If they don't like you, then it's their loss. You have a mission to fulfill. Yours. But what if I lose friends? My answer, great. That just means you have more time to establish a new circle of friends who see and love you for who you are and not how they think you should be. See, what you're missing is something that I've just recently found within the last decade of my life. And that is a love for myself. See, when you love yourself, and I mean just love yourself, You love to look in the mirror. You love to be in your own presence. You love to laugh with yourself and at yourself, and you love to give, and you love to find the goodness in yourself so you can realize the goodness in others. I want you to find that unconditional love for yourself, which is found deep inside of you. It's there. That unconditional love. That love that says, no matter what I do or don't, what I say or what I won't, how I act, where I go, who I'm with, who I'm not, what I have, what I don't, what I own, what I won't. I love me some me. I want you to possess that unconditional, nonetheless, nevertheless love for yourself like God has for you. That's what I want. That's why my heart beats for this radio station. That's why my heart beats for this program. That's why my heart beats for Matters of the Heart. This was Matters of the Heart. I am your host, John Redmon. I want to thank Jay Billups and JBCM Radio for allowing us to broadcast on this wonderful radio station. And I want to end with BeBe and CeCe Winans with one of my favorite songs of theirs that speaks of God's nevertheless love that we've experienced all these years. Now, don't forget to tell someone about this broadcast, and don't forget to tune in next week. I love you. This is John Redmon, and we're signing off. Remember, God has a nevertheless unconditional love for you, and I hope you can find that same type of love within yourself. Have a blessed day.
When I found no quiet times to spend with you, you still chose not to leave. You gave my heart a calm assurance, even when I could not believe. No matter how hard I tried to turn from you, your tenderness made me stay. In spite of my foolish wanderings, your guiding hands still pointed the way.
Felt abandoned and gave you the blame.
Nevertheless,